You've heard of type 1, type 2 diabetes, okay, but what about being pre-diabetic? What is wrong with that necessarily? Okay, yeah, sure, you have some of the markers that are out there, but why does that have its own specific category? Okay, couldn't it be just the lesser form of type 2 diabetes? Well, it's not quite the same, okay, obviously, but there's still problems with that as well. And you might know somebody that falls in that category, somebody who is at a high risk of developing something that, you know what, proper restraint, proper eating practices, proper exercising can help mitigate or even just outright reverse from happening, but it can also have a massive impact on your brain as well. And it really does make sense because of their inactive lifestyle, okay, their less than stellar dietary consumption. It all makes sense, really. One of the definitions of prediabetes is a high rise in blood sugar after meals, and a recent study suggests that many cases of dementia are linked to those high rises in blood sugar, as according to the study cited in JAMA. Sure. The study of 3,889 adults found that people who suffer from the loss of mental function and dementia have higher levels of advanced glycation end products in their skin. Okay. AGEs form in your body when your blood sugar rises too high after you eat, causing the sugar to stick irreversibly to proteins, fats, and nucleic acids. The AGEs turn on your immune system to cause inflammation that would damage all types of cells in your body and increase a risk of dementia, heart attack, strokes, and certain cancers. The new study is the first to show the high level of AGEs in the skin may be used to predict future loss of mental function and dementia. Many previous studies show that AGEs can accumulate in the brains of people who suffer from dementia, and researchers can measure the amount of AGEs in the skin to determine the amount of AGEs in the brain. So a correlation between what they can find just on your dermal layer, and then they don't have to go inside your old dome piece to figure out that there's something similar going on up there. Doctors use a blood test called APOE, APO4, to check for genetic susceptibility to dementia. AGEs may well be the link that dementia to this dementia, as people with the genetic susceptibility to dementia have higher levels of AGE in their brains. So, how did they find this out? Prediabetics have a high rise in blood sugar after meals and are very high risk of episodic loss of memory, decreased executive function, and loss of verbal fluency, processing speed, cognitive flexibility, and cognitive control. Blood sugar control can help to preserve brain function. Everyone's blood sugar rises after they eat. That's what happens for many physiological reasons. Anyways, if your blood sugar rises too high, sugar sticks to cells to form AGEs. To prevent blood sugar from rising too high, your pancreas is supposed to release insulin, which lowers blood sugar by driving sugar from the blood into the liver and muscles. However, if your liver is too full of fat, it does not accept the sugar, and blood sugar rises even higher. This is called insulin resistance. You can have high blood sugar from a lack of or failure to respond to insulin. And when that stuff starts to happen, that's when you can get categorized as being pre-diabetic. Just kind of a heads up that, hey, put down the donut. Things ain't looking good for you. Having a normal fasting blood sugar less than 100 milligrams per deciliter does not rule out diabetes. You are probably pre-diabetic and at an increased risk of type 2 diabetes if you can pinch more than 2 inches of fat under your skin near your belly button. So 2 inches between your finger and forefinger, or your thumb and forefinger, finger and forefinger. Those are all things, right, Don? Sure. Under your belly buttons. Interesting. I don't know if they necessarily mean like behind your belly button and what's around it, or whatever's left underneath your stomach from your belly button under. I don't know. If you have a big belly, well, that just seems to make the first point irrelevant. If you have a small buttocks compared to your belly, have you been to the club lately? If you have a HbA1c, a blood test higher than 5.7, I think that's probably a marker for diabetes, but that's something that your doctor would have to diagnose for you. Blood sugar one after meals is greater than 145 milligrams per deciliter. Your triglycerides, the blood fat, is greater than 150 milligrams per deciliter, your HDL, is that the top number of blood pressure? Oh no, that's cholesterol, sorry, my mistake, is less than 40 milligrams per deciliter, and you have small particle lipid. All of those things need to be, well, with the exception of, is your ass smaller than your stomach? It's just strange. The first 3 points, really. Outside of that, your doctor would have to analyze your blood, really. Preventing and curing type 2 diabetes. This is something that you should know, and this is something that I'm a big advocate for, because this is something that is actually reversible and something that is completely and utterly manageable if people would just take responsibility for their own eating practices. But whatever, they can't save the world. All you can do is just try to make it better with a little bit of information. Many people are susceptible to develop diabetes because they genetically store fat primarily in their belly. Skinny people can be diabetic just because their liver is full of fat, a fatty liver. Yeah, all of you know what all of this stuff has in common? Yeah, you know what, you store fat around your stomach. Okay, cool, that sucks. But you know how you stop doing that? Stop eating like a garbage disposable. Just saying. Simple sonogram of your liver can show if you have a fatty liver. To reverse the progression towards diabetes, you need to lose enough weight to get to get the fat out of your liver. Lose weight by whatever means works for you. Recommend intermittent fasting. I would recommend exercise too in conjunction with that. Try to exercise for at least 30 minutes a day, or just watch the video from Monday. I think it was on Monday. But if you're just out there trying to gain some strength, 60 seconds a month, it'll do wonders for you. Eat plenty of vegetables, whole unground grains, beans, nuts, and whole fruit, not fruit juice. Yeah, fruit juice takes out all of the fiber and kind of just pulverizes the nutrients that are in there. It sure tastes good, but a lot of it's also just artificially sweetened as well. But anyways, restrict or avoid meat from mammals. Come on now, the conflicting science on this. Processed meats, that makes sense. Sugar added foods, it should go without saying. Fried foods, refined carbohydrates. Drink only water, coffee or tea with no calories or artificial sweeteners. If you want to add a sweetener, recommend xylitol. We've talked about that on the channel as well. And then monk fruit as well. They're a little bit more boutique, but they're starting to find their foothold in different large big box stores that are out there as well. So by all means, make the switch to the ones that work. So, the author of their recommendations: at age 45, you have a 20% chance of developing dementia as you age. More than 35% of North Americans over the age of 50 have early or full-blown dementia. More and more studies are showing that the high rise in blood sugar is a major risk for dementia. If you have any risk factors for diabetes, you should immediately begin a program to lower the rise in blood sugar after you eat. Yep. Just be healthy. Regular, moderate exercise and a sensible diet, okay? All of those things will help you keep your noodle about you in your elderly age, and then also make sure that you keep all of your little fucking toes. Yeah, I'm passionate about this stuff. I even swore. It's been the first time in a couple of weeks, but whatever. I want you to be as healthy as you possibly can. And putting down the powdered donut is the first step, damn it. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.